Thank you so much. I'm Mrs. Glenn. I'm the principal here. So for those of you that do not know, our Black Student Union has an Instagram page. Their username or handle or whatever the word is, it's SoPo BSU. So you should give them a follow after this assembly. But this week they posted the following quote that I'd love to share with you. Black history is more than slavery. Black history is more than segregation. Black history is more than struggle. Black history is innovation. Black history is creativity. Black history is resilience. And Black history is triumph. Today, you will hear from SPHS students as part of a student panel that has been organized by our high school's Black Student Union. It is not an easy job to speak in front of students, especially the entire student body. So please be mindful and aware of our Red Riot Way expectations. Please be respectful, actively listening, participating positively, and limiting your side conversations. Please stay engaged. So stay in your assigned seating. Ensure that your personal devices, including your cell phones and your earbuds, are off, silenced, and away, giving your panelists your full attention. So I'd like to introduce to you Hermenegildo Del Palo. He is South Portland Schools Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging. His office is located right here in the high school on the second floor, and it's in room 216. Please welcome Mr. Palo.
Good morning, everyone. It's always very good to know that I'm not alone. Sometimes I'm not in that office alone, and it's good to know that there's community here. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the South Portland High School Black History Month, and this is kind of our panelists, and you will hear from them very soon. We are hosting this activity based on the Black history, like Ms. Glenn just said, and the Black history is a time to honor Black history, excellence, contribution, and also to hear from Black history things and artifacts and people that are here with us. We are going to hear from our panelists right now. And I would love to invite you just to be present and to listen and not to respond, just listen and learn. And my name, as everybody, Mr. Glenn just said, is Hermenegildo Paulo, and I am the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Belonging as well. And my job is just to ensure that everybody here is welcome and feels valued, and also to see that our policies and practice englobes and encompasses almost everybody, every identity that we have in South Portland School. And I would love to also name why this panel matters right now. Belonging is not just a slogan. Belonging is a daily experience. And the people who can teach us the most about that experiences are students. So in the moment, I would love you to really, really be respectful, be open, and just be brave enough to learn. And before I start with my first question, please, can we just, please, very loudly, give a very round of applause. Thank you. My first question is going to be, the questions are going also to be on the screen, so you can also read them if you don't.
At the high school, I was born in Angola and I left when I was 3, so I've been here for around 13 years. Okay.
I'm a junior and I was born in Congo. I moved to Brazil when I was 3 years old. And when I turned 12, I moved to the United States. So I have been here for 4 years.
Hi, my name is Paris. I'm a junior. I've been in Maine for about 13 years. I moved here from Canada when I was 2.
Hi, my name is PK. I'm a junior. I was born in Congo, but I was raised in Angola. I moved here in America in 2018, so I've been here for 7 years.
Hi, my name is Destiny. I'm a senior here. I was born and raised in Maine, and something about me is I enjoy being around my family.
Hi, my name is Corolla. I'm a junior here. I was born in Maine, but grew up in Cape Verde.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry.
Hi, my name is Sanila. I'm a senior. I was born in Massachusetts and I moved to Maine when I was 9.
Probably a very different experience from most people. In 4th grade, I used to take a lot of ESOL classes, like access testing and all of that, and I personally thought it was useless to me because I was very fluent in English at the time. I didn't speak up for myself because I was a pretty timid kid, and I stopped taking those classes after 4th grade, obviously, but the message taken away from that testing was that I was like still an outsider and I wasn't assimilated into American culture. But that sentiment would start washing away around like 5th grade because my 5th grade teacher was a very open teacher and he liked to talk to his students a lot, and I got to talk one-on-one with him and he made me feel very like a part of the American community.
My experience wasn't difficult, but it wasn't also easy. Coming to America, not knowing the language, having to fit in, finding friends was always a difficult thing for me, especially when people know that you take access testing and that you have different teachers that have to come and find you and help you. It definitely made it hard to fit in with people. So I would say that it's not very difficult, but it just wasn't easy.
What are some positive experiences you have had in your school or community that made you feel supported, welcomed, or proud of who you are?
The positive experience I have had several is when the teachers help you with your schoolwork. When you have missing work, they can help you get caught up. I know I can always go to my teachers. Another positive experience was recently they created the little kitchen for families that were scared to come out of their house because of ice. Students could bring things like diapers and food home to their families or neighbors. It felt good to know that the school cares about the whole community, not only our students. One positive experience I've had in the school is when teachers and staff really took the time to listen to me. Being part of Black-centered spaces and conversations made me feel comfortable being myself. I also feel supported when people respect my culture and the way I express myself. Those moments made me proud of who I am and reminded me that I belong here.
What are some challenges you have faced as a Black student in a predominantly white state, either in school or in the community?
A challenge I faced as a Black student in a predominantly white school is the unspoken segregation. I've lived in Maine a long time, and I haven't really made a strong connection with anyone who isn't a person of color. I know this isn't true for all of us, but I've spoken to many people in my situation, and we all agree it's simply harder to integrate with certain groups. Some of it is established friend groups, cultural differences, but I've never had a problem talking or spending time with any other group. So that's something that I think is worth mentioning. Another challenge, more generally, is the amount of staring I endured when I was younger. When I was in elementary school, there weren't as many black people as there are now. In fact, I can only remember about 2 of us that were in my grade back then. It was something I had to get used to, and many people might not see it as a big deal, but when you know people are observing you as the odd one out, it's hard to feel like anything else. And more recently, I had an online interaction with the city of South Portland where they posted about my internship that I had with them, and a man in the comment section told me he was waiting for me to be deported. At first, I thought it was funny because, 1, I'm not an immigrant, and secondly, for how blatantly ignorant he was. But then it started to remind me of all the staring I had to deal with when I was younger, and the type of staring that I still deal with. It makes you wonder if that's the only thing that these starers think of me when they see me, when I'm just walking by or when I'm waiting in line. Is that guy the 1%, or am I surrounded by people with a simple-minded mindset every day?
So building off of Sanila's point about the difficulty of integrating with certain groups, I found that cultural differences, for me at least, often have connections at surface levels when I'm in a predominantly white space. In these environments especially, when you and a few others are the only black kids, it's almost like seeing another black person often brings an immediate sense of unspoken sense of understanding. At least like a safe space, where we don't have to defend our experiences or explain away microaggressions, which really highlights how much shared experience can make a complete stranger into someone close. Another challenge I face as a black student in a predominantly white state is becoming aware of my skin color at a very young age. That awareness started for me in elementary school, which stemmed from being one of the only black people in my classes or my teams, and the comments and questions I've gotten from others. I feel like this made me aware that I stood out before I fully understood what race even meant. I've noticed this pattern happening a lot earlier for black students compared to non-black students, and even when moments aren't meant to be harmful, they make you more conscious of yourself, and you don't always get to blend in or be unaware of your differences. You carry that awareness with you as you grow, and I feel like a big part of this challenge is the lack of representation we look up to. When you don't have people who reflect your identity in leadership, your curriculums, or your community, it reinforces the feeling that you are an outsider. And as a child, it's hard.
Sometimes I feel like people, they don't understand me and my, you can say, community, because I feel like everybody has like your type of black, but they have a specific black. If you're too light, that's not enough. If you're too dark, that's also not good. You have to have a specific black that they can say that this is the black that we all should have. They also talk about how the way we dress. If you dress too street, if you dress with a lot of baggy, as a woman, they're gonna call you lesbian. That's not the way you're supposed to dress, why you're dressing like that. And if you dress too white, that's also not the way you're supposed to dress, because why are you dressing like white people if you're black? And this is something that many people think, they don't say, but they think a lot. And also about how we act. Many black people, we all know black people, they are loud. They like to yell, they like to laugh, but some people, they don't understand that people are just happy. Like me, I don't do too much, I don't like too much noise, but I do work with people who does noise. So when I'm happy, when I start laughing, I yell, they be wondering. I hear one time I was laughing and somebody told me, why are you laughing like this? You're not in Africa. You're not with animals. That's not your place. And I look at this person, first I was wondering, how is that being in Africa? Because many people think that in Africa we live with animals, but that's not how it works. We have the power, we have the right to be happy because we live, we have passed with a lot of things, we're struggling a lot of things that many people, they don't know. So if you see a black person happy, if you see them yellow, do not say that they're not in Africa and that's not their
Part of my culture is the food, the dancing. Everybody's respectful. I stay connected to my Congolese culture by celebrating with my Congolese family and by going to weddings and parties. I also talk to my friends in Congo. Even though I was born there, I wasn't raised there, but I'm still part of that culture. And everybody's just so respectful and kind. Even though you're going through a lot of moments or through sad time, depression, whatever you're going through, the whole Congolese community is always there to support.
Although I was born in Canada, growing up in an ethnically Congolese household has really opened me up to different cultures and our different foods and our different music. One thing I really love and that I'm really proud about my culture is that my community is always expanding. We're always taking in new people. We accept new people. We never leave anyone out. We're always here to help. And I think that's something that makes me really proud because it just shows that we have kind hearts and that we're willing to accept anything and anyone. And also our food. Our food is really good. For example, my favorite food is probably rice and fondue. It's the best. But there's always multiple different things to try, and there's always something new, and it smells really good, and it just makes me very proud.
What is something you wish students, teachers, and adults in Maine better understood about the experience of Black students and what changes would you like to see in school or in the community?
So something I wish people better understood about the experiences of Black students is that not every Black student's experiences are the same. We don't all grow up the same, we don't all think the same, and we don't all experience things in the same way. A lot of the times people just assume one story fits for everyone, and that's just not true. One thing I'd love to see is to have more adults of color in our schools. I understand that we live in a state where there aren't as many educators of color, but even so, I feel like that representation matters a lot. Seeing people who look like you in leadership or teaching roles makes a difference, and I think that's something me and others would love to see as well.
Something I wish that was better understood about Black student experiences is that whenever we experience like some form of injustice, we don't tend to speak up about it because it might cost us our safety. Like, if you get into a physical alteration as a Black student, you might be seen as the perpetrator, even though you might have been trying to defend yourself. Or you see somebody bullying, and then you're instantly connected to the situation for some reason. And then something I'd like to add on to Destiny's point about seeing more teachers of color. I wish there were more like language classes outside of just French, Spanish, and Latin. Like, those classes are great, but imagine if there's like a Portuguese class. Like, there's a lot of people in like the school that might be interested in learning Portuguese, or someone who wants to relearn it like me, because I left Angola when I was 3 years old and I want to tap back into my roots.
signs of progress around race and belonging make you feel hopeful for the future?
As PK said, I feel like our community is really good helping everybody. What was going on about ICE, everybody was together. Portland, Lewiston, Westbrook, everybody was together. The protests, we all fight together. Even though we didn't know each other, even though we all think in a different way, we were all together. And here, when I was supposed to go get the bus, somebody from track, Ellie, by the way, she helped me. She was like, oh, let me drive you home, let me call my mom so I can drive you home so you don't have to worry about it. And anything that you need, you can just text me, I'm gonna be there for you. So things like that make me feel that in the future, we're gonna be only one, that in the future, we all gonna be proud because we are Latinos. We're gonna be proud because we are white. We're gonna be proud because we're black. We're gonna be proud because we are only one community. And that will make us strong and happy.
For me personally, I believe the school and Maine as a whole does a pretty good job as to make sure everyone is included. But I also think as a way to improve, they can find a way to make sure the English language learners can have a good understanding of the different clubs and sports that go around the school. Whether it's having a school assembly and having representatives of the clubs to talk a little bit more about their activities with a QR code if they want to have more information. I've heard it's been harder for these kids to participate in activities around the school simply because it's not as advertised to them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody who, I feel like we need another round of applause for you. I have one more question. Have you ever been called something that was super hurtful, and how did that make you feel? Anybody?
One day at school, I was wearing my afro to school, and 4C hair needs a lot of moisture because the tight curls don't allow the natural oil to spread all the way down to the strands. And this hair type also shrinks significantly, which makes it harder to see the dryness. Often, I would put hair product into my hair to prevent damage from the dryness, and a guy I knew touched my hair. He looked back down at his hand and was disgusted by the moisturizer. He told me it was gross and continued to walk away. That's only one of many comments that have been made about my hair, and I knew at that moment that that comment was offensive. Most cultures don't have to worry about picking their hair every 30 minutes because of their shrinkage, twisting or braiding their hair every night so it doesn't become tangled the next day. Even combing my hair sometimes takes 2 hours. Having my hair be so easily disrespected despite how hard it is to take care of it used to make me think, what was the point of wearing my natural hair if I couldn't even enjoy it? Comments like that made me lose confidence to wear my afro, but not anymore.
Anyone wants to add on that or any other history?
You just told me something else. So, something that we don't like and people think that's normal because nowadays the people been using, when people start calling each other, start calling us, even if you're like from here or you're like from Africa, if you call us pop. Yeah, that's how it works. You hear this word and you start laughing because you don't know how strong this word can be. when you're saying that to somebody else, because you don't know the meaning. Because some people, when we have a meaning and the other one, they can.
Everybody came here in America in the boat. Some people came here with the airplane. Some people came here with the visa. So you can just call somebody about like, yeah, I don't think that's okay.
This one's a little personal because I witnessed it happen, but I don't think most people really know the power of the words. When I was younger, there was a new mayor, and he was also African like me. And unlike him, people didn't know like I was African because I wouldn't disclose my nationality at the time. And they would call him really egregious names and say really like rude jokes about him, like him living, like asking him if it lived in mud huts, but it wasn't like a curious question. You could tell they were being mean, and I felt that being reflected onto me because I knew I was nationally like Angolan, I was African, but people didn't know that. They wouldn't say those comments to me, but what if they had known? That's my thought on this.
Thank you to each of our panelists for your honesty, your courage. And I think our community as a whole learned a lot from you today. And before I continue, I feel like another round of applause would be very. Thank you to everybody who made time to be here, for everybody who prepared, for Ms. Caroline, to help these young leaders to express their ideas and their stories. Thank you for staff, every student here, for listening with respect. And I am inviting all of us here for like 3 commitments that we can start this week. The first one is just stay curious before you make any assumption or any comment. Please just ask a few questions before. Because sometimes your questions and your that's gonna give you more information and might change the way you are approaching that situation. The second one is just use your voice to protect dignity. If you hear a joke, a comment, or a label that harms, please interrupt that one. Say something. Ask some questions. And sometimes we reflect and we refrain when someone is trying to challenge our assumptions and words. And the last one, just choose one way to widen your perspective. To read a book, listen to a podcast, or learn from any author or creator whose lived experiences usually is a little different from yours. And to our Black students, especially those that we are here in this room, you belong here. Your brilliance matters and your identity is a strength. Thank you so much, and please, thank you, a round of applause for our panelists.
Hey everyone, my name is Angela Kabisa and I'm one of the presidents of Black Student Union.
My name is Lorelai Kibakir and I'm also one of the presidents of Black Student Union.
And the Black Student Union would like to celebrate Black History Month with a couple of fun events. So next week, February 9th, all the way to February 13th, we are inviting students to show their support by dressing up in themes that honor Black culture, history, and excellence. And I want to emphasize that anybody can participate in this. You don't have to be BSU, you don't have to be Black. Black History Month is for all of us to celebrate because we are one community. So for Monday, we're wearing Freedom Colors Day, which is the color of the African American flag. And those colors consist of, you can either wear red, green, or yellow to show support. And Tuesday is African Print Day. This might be a little bit hard to access for most people, but if you have an African friend that might let you, borrow their African print, they'll probably give you something, so yeah.
And for Wednesday, we're having Excellence Day, so you just basically show up in like formal attire or just like professional attire. Thursday is 90s Day, a little throwback. Friday is Blackout Day, just wear all black like we did at ours. And after break, we will have a special assembly of music, dance, and poetry planned for the entire student body to cap off this important month. We are excited to share more with you, and thank you for supporting our club during Black History.
Thank you very much to our panelists, to Mr. Paolo, and to our BSU group for hosting that first portion. We're going to transition a little bit into also recognizing and celebrating some students that have exemplified the Red Riot Way during Q2. So I'd like to start by welcoming up a few adults who are going to help celebrate our students. So if we could have Ms. Katarina.
Well, good morning. And to begin, I certainly want to fix this microphone. I'd like to thank Principal Glenn and Dean Brennan and the central office team for their leadership and support for Rotary. And I don't even know the folks down in the central office, particularly the secretarial staff. Now, a lot of you guys are kind of young, but there was, back in the days, there was a TV show, Lieutenant Columbo. And Columbo had this saying, and it's the same I feel about the staff when you walk into this building. They're terrific. I want to take a minute also to give a shout out to Ann Smith and to Patty Sprague for the great work they've done with the Schools Interact Club. And to Aaron Filio and Patty Sprague with Ryla. You guys have done a terrific job with Ryla. Being long-winded, I was told that you guys are on a pretty tight schedule this morning, so I'll try to keep my remarks pretty brief. Now, in a few minutes, we'll be awarding prizes to 3 students from the 9th and the 10th grades who participated in a Rotary-sponsored essay contest, a contest that encouraged them to consider the role Rotary's 4-way tests may serve as a guide when facing a real or imagined ethical dilemma. Now, some of you may not realize that Rotary is the world's biggest club, and it consists of 1.4 million members in over 200 countries. When I went to school, high school like you guys, I think we had 80 or 90 countries in the world. Now it's 200. And at the end of each meeting, we have 42,000 clubs, this being one of 42,000. And at the end of each meeting, each club, whether they be in Japan, whether they be in Kenya, or France, Spain, Guatemala, Costa Rica, at the end of the meeting, the 42,000 clubs recite 4 simple lines. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? 4 lines that can be condensed into 3 simple words. Service above self. I can't see your faces too well, but I can see the first couple of rows. And as I look into your faces, well, I'm thinking when younger, many of you were encouraged to be a go-getter. Perhaps such encouragement came in the pursuit of excellence in academics, or sports, or life in general. However, now that you're older and you're now in high school, perhaps we can quietly impart that if you want to be truly fulfilled, happy, and pleased, you must transition from being a go-getter to a go-giver. In short, the way to serve yourself is to serve others. 3 simple words that reflect Rotary's motto: service above self, which in turn can also be said in 2 simple words: go-giver. Words that can also reflect the 3 students we are now recognizing this morning. Now it is my pleasure to introduce South Portland and Cape Elizabeth's Rotary President, Mr. Peter Bennett, who will be presenting the awards this morning. But I also want to recommend the gentleman behind me, Mr. Tony Wagner, who has done an absolutely, as Columbo would say, terrific job at Interact in Ryla on behalf of Rotary in this school. Thank you again, and here's Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Ray, and good morning, everyone. It's my honor and pleasure to present the 3 awards to the winners of the 4-way test essay contest here at South Portland High School. I want to thank everyone on behalf of the club who presented the essays. They were judged by 5 judges, carefully reviewed. All of them were excellent and well written. But the judges did manage to come to a conclusion, and so we have 3 winners. A 3rd place winner, a 2nd place winner, and a 1st place winner. The 3rd place winner, and that prize goes, cash prize that goes along with that is $100. And the 3rd place award goes to Conley Kerr. The 2nd place award is accompanied by a check for $150. And the 2nd place winner is Valerie Tejada Reynoso. Get to the 1st place winner, and the 1st place winner, along with that, goes a check for $250. Plus, in addition, the winner will have the opportunity to designate a nonprofit charity of their choice, and the Rotary Club, our Rotary Club, will donate $150 to that charity. So the winner, a 1st prize winner of the contest is Haley Sanders. not here to receive her award, but we will make sure that it comes to her, okay? Thank you so much for your attention, and congratulations again to all the award winners.
Congratulations to our essay winners. Today, additionally, we're going to honor 4 students who have exemplified the pillars of the Riot Way, which are engaged, safe, respectful, and responsible. During this time, your voices should remain off and you should limit side conversations so that we can hear the winners. These students were nominated by staff in the building and were selected from a large group of nominees. Today, students who are being recognized are going to receive a certificate, a local business gift card, and a $25 donation to a local nonprofit organization of their choice. The first award today is going to be given to a student for demonstrating consistent and positive engagement, which is positive interactions with others, actively participating in the SPHS community, focused on task, and asking questions. Please welcome Ms. Katarina to present our first award. Ninth grade is a crossroads for many of our students. There are a lot of big and new decisions to make. One of the best parts about being a ninth grade teacher is witnessing my students' growth at this pivotal moment in their academic lives, and particularly the growth they experience as decision makers. The recipient of the PBIS Award for Engagement has already experienced tremendous growth in English class just since the start of their freshman year. They provide thoughtful responses to writing prompts, put their best effort into their reading, volunteer, but are often voluntold to read aloud for the class, and follow up with questions during workshop and flex. They succeed not because they don't face challenges or challenging decisions, but because they meet the challenges and persevere through them, making the right decisions and engaging with the right resources again and again. Their engagement is honest and earnest. They take no shortcuts, showing up on time and doing the work day after day. Beyond this student is a positive force in our classroom. Their polite demeanor, positive attitude, and good sense of humor help make class fun and welcoming for others. I'm pleased to present the PBIS Award for Engagement to Bentley Mayorkin.
Being respectful is a key element of the Riot Way. So at South Portland High School, respectful interactions are defined by being inclusive, considerate, and ensuring care is given to peers, staff, facilities, and the community as a whole. To represent and to present the recipient of this recognition, please welcome Ms. Brandt.
Being a respectful student in the classroom can be shown in a variety of ways. One of
the most important aspects of respect in school is showing compassion for one's peers. I saw this firsthand when a student who was new to the school joined one of my first semester classes. This new student needed to go to the main office, but didn't know the way to get there. Before I could even ask anyone from the class for a volunteer to show the student around, our PBIS award winner for respect volunteered. This nominee went above and beyond, showing this new student not only the main office, but where all of their classes were and everything they needed to know. Through their warm attitude and kind conversation, this student helped a new member of our school community feel comfortable in this school. It was truly heartwarming to see a student being so inclusive and considerate. I'm pleased to present this PBIS award for respect to Samar Ahmed.
Our next pillar of the Riot Way is being responsible. Responsible students are prepared, organized, accountable, and on time. They are leaders in the classroom and in the school. Please welcome Mrs. Davies to recognize a student who has demonstrated this capacity.
This student consistently demonstrated what it means to be a responsible learner. She understands the importance of attendance and its connection to academic success. She has maintained perfect attendance this school year, with the exception of one excused late day release. She takes ownership of her learning by asking for help when needed and demonstrates perseverance when she's met with academic challenges. She makes solid choices about learning environments that work for her and frequently chooses to spend her workshop time in the learning commons to minimize distractions. Additionally, she's often found encouraging other students to focus and get to work, or as she puts it, get locked in. She's also going to be extremely annoyed with me for embarrassing her, which makes this all the more fun for me. I am very pleased to present the PBIS Award for Responsibility to Lila Phillips.
And the final Red Riot Way Award is going to a student in recognition of the safety component. In the Red Riot Way, safety focuses on following safe procedures and getting help when needed. So to present this last award, please welcome one of our social workers, Althea.
This student has taken a leadership role in both the community and at South Portland High School as it pertains to bringing mental health to the forefront of everyone's minds. Where some schools do not prioritize students who might struggle with their mental health, South Portland does the opposite. We are thankful for students like this student who have helped teach students how to prioritize their mental health and keep themselves safe. This student is one of the original founders of Active Minds, our mental health club, and has stepped up into the role of club president for the 25-26 school year. I am pleased to present the PBIS Award for Safety to Logan Shepard.